The Toyota Tacoma is full of juicy parts that thieves would love to get their hands on. We're going to run through a list. You know, even if a thief doesn't get away with your entire truck, which let's hope that doesn't happen, there's still plenty of little pieces and parts and things that they can take, some not so little, that are going to cost you a fortune, or at least create you to have the hassle of having to get it replaced and go through your insurance company. Let's go ahead and start off with number one. And this is one that a lot of people thought, after what happened to me recently, the little suspicious video I made, is the catalytic converter. Now, easily defeated is to go ahead and put on a catalytic converter shield. You can see mine right under there. Mine comes from Miller Cat. There is a discount code down below, by the way, if you want to check it out. But as you can see, it covers everything up. It has special screws on it. And no way is a thief going to mess around trying to, I don't know, rip this thing off when they can simply go to one of the many other Toyota Tacomas out there that has a catalytic converter. And by the way, if you didn't know, supposedly the Tacoma has some sort of hybrid catalytic converter that makes it worth even more money to thieves. It's crazy. It'll only cost you somewhere around, I think it's $300 to $400, something like that, to buy a shield, to put it on there to protect your Tacoma. Plus, don't forget that discount. It'll be a little bit less. Next up, and this one kind of depends on what your setup is. On mine, I have the Highline bumper, and I know a lot of people go with different bumpers, but they incorporate D-rings on the front, like what I have right here. Now, this would be one of those more annoying thefts, right? You come out and your D-rings are gone. They don't cost a fortune, depending on what you buy, anywhere from $25 to maybe $100, something like that. But there's a very simple deterrent that you can put on to stop thieves from twisting out the pin and just pulling them off. And that's this little keychain wire. All it does is go through the hole here, and then of course through the D-ring itself, and then if you can see right here, it screws together. Now you might think somebody can just walk up and unscrew that, right? Well, I'm telling you, you put a pair of pliers on that, tighten it down, and you cannot get this thing off by hand, and it's pretty difficult to cut even with a standard pair of wire cutters. It can be defeated, of course. It is a deterrent. But how many things do you think the common thief is going to carry around with them to defeat these things? Probably not a whole toolbox that they're pushing down the street while they're trying to steal parts from your Tacoma. Works really well. I've never had any issue with these, and I attribute it to just this simple little device. Next up, wheels and tires. How many videos have you seen out there where somebody has come out in the morning and their truck is either sitting flat on the ground on their brake calipers or sitting up on blocks because a thief came up and stole their wheels and tires? Now, this is a very simple thing to defeat. When you get new wheels and tires, or even if you're running stock, you can get a special lug nut, which comes with a special key. This is just a simple lug nut with a different threading or pattern inside. And the whole idea is a thief, again, probably not carrying around every possible combination they could. They'd need a wheelbarrow full of little keys like this to get them off. But they only fit on these, and you have to have the right one. Your standard lug nut wrenches don't come with these bits. Again, maybe the thief has something similar, but it has to be this particular one to fit. And they have to take off on the Tacoma 2, 4, 6 of these. So even if they manage to come up with some contraption to get a couple off, you still have a heck of a lot more to get off the truck before you're going to run away with anybody's wheels and tires, right? And of course, to replace wheels and tires, you know, you're looking at anywhere from $3,000 and up. It just depends on what you've put on your truck and how expensive you went. Next up, let's talk about the spare tire. You ever drive down the road and see somebody's truck and that chain that holds the spare tire up with that little holder on the bottom of it is just kind of dangling around down there? Now, chances are it's like that because somebody stole their spare tire. You can buy locks to put on. I'll put an example right here. Doesn't cost much. I think it's about, I don't know, 25 bucks, 30 bucks, whatever. It's really just like a bicycle chain, right? You'll loop it through the spare tire under there, put it across your frame or whatever, and lock it. Of course, the disadvantage to that is you have to unlock it if you have to use that spare tire. You can't just lower it. If you're in snow or rain or a driving rainstorm or something, yeah, you're gonna have to screw with that. But it could save you anywhere from $300 to $400 or more if you've got a special setup under there to match the rest of your aftermarket wheels and tires. Very simple to do. Save you a lot of headache, especially if they do steal it and you need it. I'll bet you a lot of people that have lost their spare tire don't even know rather that it's happened until they need it, right? Next up, the Tailgate Lock Solution Mod. All it involves is a little, $1 or less alligator clamp. Pretty simple to do, or hose clamp, I should say. Let me show you where this goes, and I don't have one on my truck yet because when I came out to put mine on, I discovered I have the wrong size. But where it goes is right over here on the edge where normally your tailgate would come out. If you're familiar, if you take the wires off and they just slip off the sides, it's pretty easy, and then raise your tailgate to about right there, you can simply pull the tailgate out. It's just that easy. Now, if someone is going to steal it and you don't have this little device, you hope they unplug all your wiring before they just rip it off, or at least cut it nice and cleanly so you can put it back together. Chances are that's not going to happen because they're going to be in a hurry. The way this works is pretty simple. You just unfasten it, feed it through, and then tighten it down right there on the edge. I've had these on other trucks before. They don't get in the way, they don't hit your paint or anything. And again, the thief would have to be carrying around a socket set or a screwdriver or something and be willing to sit there and spend the time screwing around with this. Otherwise, if your tailgate is unlocked, there is nothing to stop them from going ahead and pulling that thing off. And that's going to cost you anywhere from $1,500 and up, depending if you have a camera in the tailgate, maybe you've put something aftermarket on it, who knows. Why screw with the hassle of it for something that costs next to nothing? Lastly, kind of a bonus item here, I guess. If you're concerned about thieves maybe copying your key fob signal, there's a lot of talk about that, although honestly, I've never heard or come across anyone that's had it happen to them. But the theory is they can copy the signal that's coming off of your key fob because it's constantly trying to communicate with the truck, right? Now, you can turn your key fob off so it doesn't send that signal out, but who does that? I never do that. Get yourself a Faraday bag. It's basically just a metal lined bag. The whole purpose of it is to stop the signal. The key fob's in it, it keeps transmitting the signal, but it can't get out of the bag. Nobody can capture it, copy it, and steal your truck. Anyway, those are just a few things that you can do to protect the juicy bits of your Toyota Tacoma, the parts that are relatively easy to steal for the common thief. Leave a comment, let me know. Ever think about any of these things? Are you doing anything to protect your Tacoma from this happening? I'd just be curious to know. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.